Okay, so today's lesson is factoring four-term polynomials. It goes along with 8-8 in your textbook. I'd like you to write the notes down on, I believe it's the left side of page 63 in your composition book. Alright, so you may want to stop the video and just copy down the directions real quick, because there's a specific way that you need to do this. We're going to use the box to factor four terms polynomials. The terms need to be in a specific order for the box to work. So draw your box and label it first term in the first box, second term, third term, and last term. So in that order: first, second, third, fourth. Okay, so you might want to just stop it and copy that. Okay, so now that we've done that, we're going to go ahead and do a couple of examples. Okay, so we've got a four-term polynomial, and we are going to use the box in order to solve it or factor it. So first thing you do is look to see if there's anything can be factored out. I've got a 5 for 20, but not a 5 for 6 or 5 for 24, so I can't take anything out. So I'm going to use my box. Alright, and here's your first term, this is your second term, this is your third term, and this is your fourth term. And from your notes you'll see that you have to put your first term in this very first box, t to the fourth power. The second term must go in here, t to the third power. The third term has to go in here, 6t, and the last term has to go here, 24. Okay, and then we're just going to do exactly the same thing we've been doing with the boxes the whole time. We're going to factor. Okay, what do these have in common? Well, there are even, so 2 will work, 4 work, 4 will work, 5, no, 6, no, so 4. Because 5 times 4 is 20, and 6 times 4 is 24. Then I look here, what do these have in common? They have a t. Do they have the 5 and the 6 have anything in common? No, they don't. Okay, now I'm going to go this direction. What do they have in common? Well, they both have a 5, and this has 4 t's and this has 3 t's. The biggest t's they have in common is t to the third. And then I look this way, what do they have in common? Well, they both could have a 6. Okay, just like before, the sign that's here determines this sign. The sign that's here, right here, determines this one, so they're both positive. So my answer is t plus 4, and then it's 5t to the third plus 6, and that's my answer. Okay? Alright, the next one. I look to see, can anything be factored out as far as numbers? And there's none, because that's a 1. There's nothing in common, and they don't all have a w, so you cannot factor anything out of there either. So make my box. It's a 4-term, so I need to make sure that my terms are in the specific order. So this is my first term, this is my second term, this is my third term, and this is my fourth term. And they must go in this order. The first term goes in this box, the second term goes in this box, the third term goes in this box. I want to make sure I include that negative because that's part of your answer. This is positive, but I don't usually write positive, and this is a -7 in the last term. Okay, so now go through and factor if there's anything in common. I look at the w and the 7, nothing, so therefore it's a 1. What do these have in common? Well, they're both even, so it has a 2, and it also has 1 w. Then I'm going to go in this direction. What do they have in common? Well, it has 2 w's, that has 3 w's, so they both have w to the second in common, no number, and these two both have a 7. The sign, again, will come from this is a positive, and the sign here makes that a negative. So now I have 2w plus 1, w squared minus 7. Okay, so that's that one. And the very last one, first thing you need to do is we need to look to see if, oh, lost it, sorry about that. See if there's anything that they have in common. Well, they all have at least one p, because 30 has one p and everybody else has at least one p, so I'm going to take the p out. And then we have, they're all even, so they all have at least a 2. Well, that has a 5, that has another 5. No 5 there, 5 there, so at least a 2. So we're going to take the 2 out. And then I'm going to put 6 p to the third power, because when I multiply 2 times 6 is 12. 3 plus 1 more is p to the fourth. 2 times 5 is 10. I have 1 p. I need 2 more to get 3. 2 times negative 18 would be 36, and I need 1 more p. And 2 times negative 15. And I don't need a p because there's a p out here. Okay, now I'm going to set up my box. It's a 4-term trinomial. The first term is going to go in here, the 6p to the third. The second term goes in here, 5p to the second. The third term goes in here, 18p. And the last term goes in here, negative 15. Okay, just like we've been doing before, we're going to factor. Okay, what do these have in common? They have a 5. What do these have in common? Well, they both have a 6 and also 1p. This one has in common no number, but this has 2 p's, that has 3 p's, so that's p to the second. And then if I look this way, let me see, I know they have 3, and I think that's all they have in common, a 3. And it's going to, okay, so now I look at my signs. This is going to be plus, and this is going to be minus. So my answer is 6p plus 5, and I have p squared minus 3. And then I look, and I can't forget that the p that I took out, the 2p over here, needs to go with it, so 2p. And right here is my final answer, including that 2p that's on the outside. Okay, so that is factoring polynomials with 4 terms.